34 lakhs placement with McKinsey, BCG, Bain, Goldman Sachs. That's what you look at when you look at IIM Bangalore placements. But there is the hidden part of it, which you don't know. In this video, we'll dissect the placement report of IIM Bangalore. And we'll talk about the reality of the placements. We'll talk about, can you make it to McKinsey if you go to IIM Bangalore? Or can you make it to BCG when you go to IIM Bangalore? Or whether the startup roles are better at IIM Bangalore. All that in next few minutes. But before we go there, if you want to see the placement reports of any of these top B schools in India, please subscribe our channel. About 595 students every year walk into IIM Bangalore thinking that they will get placed with their desired companies. But let me tell you, very few of them make it to McKinsey, BCG, Bain, the top 3 consulting firms, or make it to Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, the top investment banks. Then what happens with others? That's what we're gonna see in this video. If you are the one who make it to IIM Bangalore this year, let me tell you when you have to start preparing for your placements. It's not in the second year. You are absolutely wrong if you're thinking that second year is the time when placements happen. Actually, 247 out of 595 students got placed even before the second year started. Now you must be thinking how that's possible. So there is something called internship for which hirings are done in the first year itself. And nearly 247 students last year got their pre-placement offers. So let's say you are doing an internship with BCG and you work really hard and they are really happy with the kind of performance you have given, you end up with a PPO. Let's say you interned with Goldman Sachs and you worked really well, you end up with a PPO. So 247, which is nearly 50% of the batch, gets placed even before the placement start. In the placement report, they say 41% of students ended up with consulting offers. Now that's a huge number. But what you should know that your pre-MBA experience plays a very important role there. Your resume gets a shortlist if you come from a consulting background. So it's not that if you're not from a consulting background, you can't make it to the consulting jobs. But what I'm telling you is that one factor which you should always look at is pre-MBA, what kind of experience the person had. So if you will see, most of the people who ended up with consulting offers had a consulting background pre-MBA. Now, does that leave us with a point that you will not make into consulting if you're not from a consulting background? Absolutely not. So now that leaves us with a question that would you not end up with a consulting if you don't have a consulting background? Now that's not true. What you have to do is, if you want to end up into consulting, at the time of internship, look for companies where you get a consulting roles. Now, it might happen with you that you might not end up with top 3 or the big 4s in consulting. Look for a tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 consulting companies. Just get into those, do some consulting work, so that at the time of final placements, you have some background in consulting. I've seen a lot of students, they keep on trying for consulting in the final placements, but because they have done internships in marketing, they have done internships in organization behavior, I have seen a lot of students who had aspiration to get into consulting and are looking for job in consulting in their final year. But the problem is they don't have a background at all. So at the time of internship, keep looking for roles in consulting domain.